emergency.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I want to call a report because somebody threw the little baby in the trash can in the Villa Cordova apartment.
3.5-year-old Jane Cordova Doe was found beaten to death, her body abandoned at the Villa Cordova apartments.
Police canvassed the area, knocking on dozens of doors.
Have you ever seen this girl?
For weeks, no one knew the identity of this little girl or how someone could dump her and walk away.
That detective had just filed a report with a woman who said her granddaughter was missing. Metro Police immediately went to California, where they caught up with the girl's mother, Gladys Perez. Police also found her 28-year-old boyfriend, Mark Anthony Colon, in Minnesota.
Just scared. There's something I want to tell you. And here's the rest of the story.
It starts on January 8th when Gladys Perez and her boyfriend, Anthony Colon, drive from California to Las Vegas with her 2 daughters and his 2 daughters. They stayed at the Stratosphere. January 11th, the boyfriend went gambling and reportedly lost most of their money. Perez says they got in a fight about the gambling loss, and he hit her and 3-year-old Crystal. Crystal then had what her mother would describe as a seizure. Soon after, Crystal stopped breathing. Perez says they panicked and drove around town. They pulled into the Fountains of Villa Cordova apartment complex, where Colon put Crystal in a box and left her in the dumpster. They came to Las Vegas with 4 children and left with only 3.
You know what? It's your choice, but I don't think you should testify because you're going to stink it up.
Hi.
Hello.
Where would you like us?
Your biggest theater, please.
They're all about the same size. I don't know.
Thank you.
There's really not much evidence of premeditation, which means it's probably what the state's looking at, more of a second-degree theory that she knew this guy was abusive. She didn't stop it. She could have. There are many opportunities for her to do so, call police, take the child out of the home, things like that. She didn't do it, and it was only a matter of time before something like this happened. I can have trouble proving that, but that's where I think they're probably going. One of many ways. Hey, Gladys. How are you? Nice to see you. How you feeling? Tired.
What I wanted to talk with you today about is why we've told you how Crystal died. You still seem to have feelings that somehow this was an accident or Colon didn't mean to do it, that was maybe natural causes. So I wanted to talk to you exactly what we believe happened based on what you told police, based on what other people told police. And the thing I want you to understand is that Colon killed Crystal. It wasn't natural causes. He took affirmative steps. He hit your daughter and caused her to die. Now, I believe that happened when you were gone. Coroner says basically that somebody punched Crystal either in the back or in the front. She has at least 2, maybe 3 cracked ribs, broken ribs. She died from blunt force trauma. She died from somebody hitting her. His oldest daughter, the oldest one's Maxine, right? Tells the police Crystal started puking after Daddy hit her. But I showed you before that bruise on Crystal's back, all right?
The reason you're in trouble, the reason you're here, the problems you have is because when the DAs and the cops and the jury is going to look at the situation and they evaluate the choices you had, it seems that you've chosen to protect this man over the children. Now, we're going to do what we can to try and change that perception, but that is the perception of your situation, is that whenever given a choice, you make the wrong one.
Maybe I could have done a lot more for Crystal. Maybe I couldn't. I don't know. At the time, my state of mind, the beatings, everything, it was just so confusing. There's a lot of things I don't remember.
I don't want you to have any sympathy for this man. I don't want you to have any kind of communications with him. And I want you to understand what really happened.
I know and I understand what Anthony did. And I don't excuse him for it. And he needs to pay for what he did to my daughter. But then here I am, 6 months pregnant with his daughter now. So it's like, I just...
Open or close? More chairs.
No, we're fine.
It's hot in here. It's hot.
The conditions we're having to work under.
Is there an air conditioning issue over here?
Yeah. They sent us an email. They just said it's broken. Mine.
Oh, is your air conditioner working? Mine is. Where's Gladys? What's her status? Is she going to be our witness, or are we prosecuting her? And until we know that, it's tough to... Well, on the one hand, we don't want to crucify her at this point because she might be our witness.
I was going to say, are you ready to discuss where you're going to go with her? I mean, what have you guys been talking about, or is that
too
early to talk about?
We haven't said a word to them.
We haven't said anything, but in my mind, I'm thinking a second, and she testifies for us. She's charged with a first. If she's willing to plead guilty to a second-degree murder under a failure to render assistance theory, where he's the bad guy, he delivers the fatal blow, and she gets, a life sentence, 10 to life.
There's no point in dealing her out unless she's going to testify, because otherwise we want them together, let all the statements come in.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So she needs to give us a proffer on what she can give us on Cologne, as opposed to, I don't really remember what happened.
I want to know is she with us or is she against us?
Well, I mean, maybe
I'm good either way, but I want to know because that's going to affect some of the decisions that we make. I mean, if that's the way they want to go, that she's the poor battered woman, that's fine. She does some unconscionable things as a mother. Just unforgivable things. And so that's fine. It really doesn't matter.
I don't see how she gets out of a second, but I don't think she thinks she's going to get a first.
I don't think she does either. That's why that's where our offer can't go lower than that.
Well,
because that's the best she's ever going to do.
Yeah.
I feel bad for her because she's just a total mess. And the fact, she says she even knows that, she's like, she hates everything and everything but him. And she goes, she knows that it's messed up. Yeah, she cried a lot. Well, essentially today she told me that she never wants to get out of prison again.
She doesn't want to get out?
Ever.
And why?
She says it's too painful. She never wants to see her kids again. She never wants to...
She's in a tough spot. I mean, she's not going to be there forever.
But the weird thing is that I feel, she says, that she misses getting beat up because Anthony would always be really loving to her afterwards, and she just got used to it after so many years.
Years? She's with the guy for 3 months.
Well, with Saul, with her other husband.
And she misses it.
Yeah. The other thing I was concerned about, and that she mentioned that I wanted to tell you about, is apparently she's been talking to a pastor, and I have his name. Who also happens to be Anthony's pastor, and but this is the bad part about it. She apparently facilitated getting the same pastor that Anthony has.
I don't want that link. That even the communication through that pastor is giving a tether to Cologne,
I know,
which is preventing her from being able to be independent. it's probably well within his parameters to exchange personal messages of, she says she forgives you, or
right,
he says, you know,
right.
that gives them each their piece, but it just screws everything up.
Well, that's what yeah. And she says she's telling him like everything, and that the other thing I'm worried about, which I told her please don't do, is that she wants to call the DA's office and take full responsibility for everything. And she said she got to the point once where she picked up the phone and dialed the number. For her, she can redeem her life if she saves Anthony from the death penalty, is what she told me yesterday.
Because she's lost focus of Crystal, and her focus is completely directed towards Cologne. It's a bad place to be focused. You know, hopefully once she has the baby, stabilizes a little, they can put her on some medication regime, and we'll get to a place where she can think clearly and reasonably for herself. In the meantime, our job is to keep her from really screwing everything up.
But hopefully...
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hopefully...
Well, we've got to talk tomorrow because we've got to get on this immediately.
I'll write you a memo, but I just wanted to tell you.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
See you later.
Thanks, Curtis.
Ay, caramba.
Hi, Gladys. Why don't we go over the phone calls first?
Okay.
Okay?
No problem.
I think that we got this to where they're actually gonna work on the boom box.
This call is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using Evercom.
I don't believe what they say. What they say? They should beat the baby and throw the trash can. No! They said they should beat the baby and throw the trash can. Are they blaming both of us or just me? Why are you doing that? It's in the news, Bob. It's all over the news. You might say that. Yes.
He asked me, did anyone hit Crystal?
And what'd you tell him?
Don't get mad.
You told him I did it?
Yes.
Did you tell him Gladys did it too?
No.
But you said I did it all the time?
Not always.
I can't believe it. It's okay, baby.
Daddy?
Yes?
Oh, they...
I love you.
So,
I miss you, okay?
stay there forever?
I might.
Thank you for using Evercom.
Oh.
Andrew.
What? Son of a bitch.
Yeah, I'm about to make this one.
I sent you the money like I said I was. I've been trying to call you, Shady.
They got me. They got me. I won't call you.
Why, Shady?
Say bye.
Shady, don't fucking bounce me out of your house. Don't do this shit to me, okay?
What's that? Did you hear what you were expecting to hear, Gladys?
I don't know what I was expecting. You see how he uses her for money?
That's what he does.
Says I'm a dragger.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so angry right now.
You're so what?
Angry.
You know the other thing we talked about bringing today? You want to do that some other time?
Whatever. It doesn't matter.
What do you want to do?
Like, we could do it now. Get it all out already.
What kind of bruise? This bruise you talked to the police about what happened in California, right? And Anthony told you she fell on a statue or a ceramic figurine or something. Where was that bruise on her back? High, low?
On her middle.
Kind of in the middle. Where's Crystal's back? Is that the kind of bruise you remember seeing?
There's so many.
Let me ask you this. Does any one of these bruises look like the previous bruise that you described?
I don't remember it being so big, though.
But that was kind of the general area?
So his thing is all those bruises that just magically appeared? He doesn't remember anything. He's got amnesia now. Sure don't remember I don't have Crystal anymore every fucking day.
You still think this was an accident? Or a mistake?
Problem is that it's never gonna be over.
In a way, this is, like I said, you're just waking up from a really bad dream. It's not even a dream because it's real. But you're just starting to see things with both eyes open. All right, Gladys, I'm sorry.
Come in.
Look at me for a minute. Don't do anything stupid, all right? Okay? You promise me?
It's 2:21, so.
This unit has been rented to somebody else.
Since then, yeah.
Yeah. Not like Mike's gonna be good for anything. No.
That's good. That makes sense, because she would have been right there.
Yeah.
See this toilet seat? So this ridge sticking out here, you know, may very well be consistent with that linear bruising in her pelvic area based on her height. We know that everything happened in here. The other daughter says, no, his daughter.
Well, his own daughter, Maxine.
His own daughter says that he comes out with his fists clenched.
Maxine is so close to where this is happening.
Yeah, it's all close quarters in here. I mean, they could know everything that was going on in here. Anybody that's in this apartment knows what's going on in here.
Yeah. Where did the girls say, I mean, from talking to them, where were they in here?
They all slept on the couch watching TV, and then Gladys, Mommy, and Anthony stayed in a room here.
It's very small. Don't you think?
Yep. Yeah, I'll call you and call me.
Hi, Gladys. How are you? Stand up for a second. Feel pretty.
It's all just tummy. No stretch marks, so that's good. That's good for a female when you don't get no stretch marks. Third being not one.
I talked to your mom yesterday.
I know, she's mad at me, huh?
No, she wasn't mad at you.
I called him.
She would, you know, she did mention naming the baby and all that stuff. I mean, here's what I can tell you about giving the kid Cologne's name. If you choose to give the baby Cologne's last name, it could potentially make it easier for him to exert some kind of control or his family to exert some kind of control. If you ever choose in the future to make him officially the father, that can be done. To undo it, though, is going to be a different thing. Can you think of some reasons why it's important that Delilah has Cologne's name?
I just want her to know that she was acknowledged by her father. Tim, I don't have my real dad. I didn't get his last name. I don't know, maybe because that happened to me, I just don't want it to happen to her. I don't want her to feel that her dad didn't want her, just like mine didn't want me.
Okay.
You think that after she learns about all this, that her dad and her mom are still in jail because of the death of her sister, and then, you know, to think that on top of that, her dad didn't want her dad didn't care about her?
Have you considered the effect on Delilah if after a year or a year and a half, Cologne's family wanted to get custody of her, part-time custody of her? Have you thought about that and how that might affect Delilah?
I have thought about it.
Well, if you just put it between you and Delilah, I think you'll come to the right decision.
Thank you.
All right, Gladys. Take care, okay?
That's pretty neat, though.
That's Gladys writing with the whole cool little drawing pictures and everything. And she starts off with "I love you" and then ends up with foul language telling him how she hates him. She's on a little roller coaster.
They looked friendly in court.
I heart you, over and over again. But then later on, here's the F word in here.
The F word?
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good. So, I got a headache reading it, so I thought I'd send it to you.
Thanks.
That's pretty good art, right? The handcuff going through the hearts.
Yeah? Yeah.
Drew, the handcuff's pretty good. But she's on a big emotional roller coaster in these letters.
Well...
You know, she's loving him one minute and cursing him out the next.
But for what? Not for killing Crystal, just, you know, I'm mad because you have another girlfriend?
Yeah. I mean, no, there's some issues about other girlfriends, yeah.
That's what I thought.
You know, she has some nicknames for him. She calls him Shady.
Okay, well, she's still pretty attached to him.
Until he tells her the name of the new girlfriend.
Well, does she know?
I don't know. I mean, I think she suspects.
Isn't the new girlfriend pregnant,
She's suspecting something, though. Since they're communicating. Right, since they're communicating and we're, you know, legally intercepting that stuff the way we're getting it, that's fine. Just let it keep going.
Right, right.
These letters that she is getting to him via this conduit in the jail sure seems like she loves him and wants to be with him, and it's all real positive for that they still have a relationship, you know? Mm-hmm. And so if they're putting a spin on it that she's a victim and he's the only bad guy in this, that's gonna kind of hurt them there, those jail letters.
This is Gladys writing to Kathy. You can read it if you want.
Yeah, I think she's writing to Kathy here, too. He really did try to save Chris. I'm not excusing him for what he did. What's done is done, but I also do remember him crying for her.
Look at this one. Sent and sealed with a kiss from heaven. Crystal, it says.
To my what? To my Shady? The first time I heard your voice, I fell in love with it. I knew I was gonna end up with you. And after our first kiss, I knew I was struck. I was stuck. What I mean is that I loved you before I even had you. So why would the distance make a difference now?
Have I told you lately that I love you? Well, I love you, 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 I love you. Mark my words, Daddy. Remember that Mama loves you, honey, and that I need you, Dad. I truly do, baby. Even after not being physically together for 5 months, now I desire you more than ever. When and if I get... Oh, God. I'm gonna read, like, the dirty parts. You read those.
Oh, read those, please.
No, they're really not that bad. Let me see. I think this is Cologne writing to Gladys. Hey, baby. Now, I'm gonna tell you like this. On my daughter's soul, I did not hurt her. And I've been thinking that maybe, just maybe, they'll end up getting me for 2nd degree just because of all the letters they got. Too bad those letters from him aren't on here.
And so our whole argument is this guy has this unbelievable hold on her. Not unbelievable, but, you know, I mean...
She's fucked up.
Did you go to the clinic or you stay here? They came... Huh?
To the clinic.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm.
You do anything else except physically examine you? No? What do you have to say?
Nothing. He sent me back.
Well, did he give you an idea, or did he say in a week, or did he say anything?
He said he wouldn't be surprised if I have the baby this weekend.
Okay. Let's see. I just want to implore you, Gladys, you don't need to worry about this. You can always do it later on if you want. You know, I would just ask you to not put his name on there. Save us that extra potential hassle. And let's get Delilah home with your mom as soon as possible. Want to talk about it?
I wish you knew Anthony personally, who he is and what he's about.
Oh, I know plenty about Anthony. I've met a lot of people like Anthony.
Why I'm so scared not to do it. Like, I just don't want to risk my kids or my family by not doing it.
So you think some of his homies are gonna go to your mom's house or something?
I'm just scared. He knows where my mom lives. He knows where my grandma lives. He knows where the girls are gonna be at. And...
You know what's funny? That's exactly what he's told one of his last girlfriends. Lisette, go, Em. Exactly what he told her. You know Lisette, go, Em?
I don't know her, but I know she's the girl's mom.
You know, here's the police report. But she lays out the exact thing he did to you. Nice guy at first. Then it's the don't talk to friends, don't talk to family. Isolate the person. Then the beating starts when he doesn't get everything he wants. I mean, he never did anything to this girl's parents. It was just a threat to control her.
I heard that, see, that's the thing that I play over and over in my head. Even one time when he choked me out at Nellie's house, just because I didn't put a shirt on the dog we had, because we had a dog with us too. I told you to put the shirt on, and you're blaming Max for it. You don't know how to fess up to your responsibilities and all kinds of drama. Anyways, he ended up choking me out that day, put me against the wall, and then when I...
In front of all the kids?
In front of all the kids. When I woke up, because he kicked me. And I got up.
You passed out because of his choking you?
Mm-hmm. And he said, the scariest thing is, he said, it only took 15 seconds. Your mouth starts foaming and your eyes roll back. Just 15 seconds. That's all it takes. And that plays in my head every day. There's times when I dream about that. I think that was the closest to him killing me, really.
How come you never told me about this before? This shit's important. You gotta tell me this shit.
I did tell you about the conversation.
I mean, you know what the state wants to paint, right?
Huh?
You're on a nice getaway with Cologne. You're just trying to run away because you don't want to get in trouble. They don't want to believe that he's, you know, beating you up. And I mean, here, he nearly killed you in front of his daughters and your daughter.
I mean, am I wrong for being scared, or?
Gladys, you're not wrong for being scared, but we see any big fights against men here? We see any, you know, big crimes? No. What does he do? He beats women, his sister. Those are the priors this guy has.
And I understand that, but I lived it. I felt it. I still feel it, and I still remember it.
But Gladys, look at me. Look at me. Just look at me. Once Delilah has his name, it's gonna be just like those hands around your throat when he choked you out. What I want you to understand, Gladys, is once you take that step and do what he wants, that's when you're gonna have a real reason to be afraid. It's hard not to get angry. You know, I know what she's going through and stuff, but even knowing about the phenomena, the syndrome, whatever you want to call it, it's hard not getting angry that she just can't get angry at this fucking guy.
Daniel, come on in here.
Hey, Dan.
Hey. Daniel, the box.
It's not the box.
No, that's the dummy box, right?
This is the box they showed me.
Yeah, what are you doing with that?
Bring me back. How you doing, buddy?
All right. Yeah.
Hanging in. Well, what's the order? What's the order of analysis here? DNA probably has to get on it first, right? DNA does their thing, then send whatever DNA doesn't need to Scott Hardy to see if he can find some...
Extract any information from the vomitus.
Right.
And specifically, they're looking at type of, if there's any type of food, you know, and again, you're trying to establish the timeline.
But would DNA be able to determine whether there's, because she's got internal bleeding at the time.
Right.
We want to know if there's blood in her stomach.
But well, that's what I can tell you if there's blood in the stomach, because it depends on where the vomitus is coming up from.
We still want to know that, because that would be a big clue for Gladys that, hey, something's really wrong with this kid here.
Blood.
And I think where Daniel's going is you could still have the contents of the stomach coming up in the vomit and not have the presence of blood, although there's still internal bleeding that's not in the stomach contents.
Oh, absolutely.
Right, so I'm saying that...
But what Pam's point is, if she's throwing up blood, that's another signal to Mom that, hey, you should be doing something here.
Right. Yeah, but we were also concerned, we wanted to establish whether or not, while in the infinity, prior to her death, whether she was a sick girl or not.
Well, let me ask you this, Dan. Would you vacuum something up that could have been vomitus that wasn't apparent to you at the time, or would you know it?
Absolutely.
You would?
I would not have known it, and it would have been vacuumed up.
I think we just want to look for vomitus.
So we've got to go to the vehicle, strip it of the hard items, and then do a trace.
Just pull the carpet off.
Pull the carpet off. Yeah.
Pull the carpet off.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a big job, but that just has to be done. So it's going to look great in Pam's office. I got it.
I agree.
What happens when the first person says? That's right.
What are your suggestions? We need to start finding out what the hell's going to happen to this baby with CPS.
My suggestions are that obviously social services is going to have to get involved, and her mother's willing to take the child. And my suggestion is that that's what happens. I mean,
right, but how do we got to try to work to make this seamless so that there's no disruption, you know what I mean?
I don't think it's going to be that complicated.
I hope you're right, but you know, I just always try to think about the worst. So, I mean, I hope you're right.
I mean, yeah.
And I think you're right, but you know, I just don't want to snap.
My only concern is Cologne's perspective, because he has an interest. I mean, obviously he can't do anything, but he may have somebody at his end who wants to, and then they would have to battle that out.
That would certainly be a wrench in the process, yeah. Our first goal is we want to make we'd like Lilia there, and like Lilia seamlessly to be able to take care of the child as soon as medically possible.
Tim's afraid of calling and offending everybody at CPS, so we want you to do it.
Well, I think Curtis is more afraid of that. I don't have any problem.
All right, I'm afraid of Tim calling and offending everybody at CPS.
No.
By the time he's done, they're going to come take his kid.
Lilia? I don't know if this is accurate or not, but we think she's at the hospital and she may have given birth, or she may be giving birth.
What is your name again?
Tim O'Brien,
I have a gentleman here by the name of Tim O'Brien,
with Clark County Public Defender's Office,
Clark County Public Defender's Office.
regarding Gladys Perez.
We don't have any authorization to give any information.
Now, I'll call you in the morning. Hopefully, maybe they call you tonight and say the baby came and you can come see her. I don't know. What are you going to do now, Lily?
I'm going to my cousin's house to pray for that everything comes good.
Hi, Gladys.
Hi.
How you feeling? I hear you're taking baby steps.
Yeah. Well, I'm already off of the anesthesia, so now I can feel everything.
Oh, are you in a lot of pain?
Yeah, I just had the doctor come in, and it went by pretty quick. I mean, I was just surprised that they I wasn't even there for, I was there for 12 hours after Delilah's birth.
Tell me what happened when they gave you the application for the birth certificate.
When they said what last name the baby was going to have, I told them she was going to have my last name. She's like, "Are you married?" I said, "Yes." And they're like, "Okay, then we have to give you we have to give the baby your married name." I said, "No, because that's not her dad."
Okay, so they said it has to go under your last name, and here's a form to fill out if you want to change that.
Right.
Okay.
So Delilah's name right now is Delilah Azul Perez. That's it.
What's the middle name?
Delilah Azul Nicole.
Asun?
Uh-huh. Blue.
It's because I got blue eyes, right?
Huh?
Nothing, I'm just kidding. She gave birth at 8:30 last night. She was back in jail at 10:30.
So she called you when she got back.
You were able to go in with Pastor Page, is that true?
Yes, because the person was there and I saw him and I say, "If you see my daughter, I'm not going to be available to see her." And he says, "Oh," and he said, "Wait for me here," and they let me say hi, just say hi and ask her how
She looks great. I mean, it's unbelievable. She gave birth, what, 15 hours ago, whatever it is?
Yes. She you don't supposed to cross the street like that with 2 little kids. It's wonderful, you know, because now maybe they're going to give me the little girl and maybe everything is okay.
Hi, Lilia. How are you? Fine. Hi. Hey. Here's the little one. Yes. Sleeping? Let's see what Gladys has for you. I know she asked me to give you this. This is a crucifix that another prisoner made for her. And I believe this chain was Crystal's. So she wanted to make sure you had that. And I don't know if the ring has any significance.
Yes, I gave her when she was like 13 years old.
You gave this to Gladys when she was 13? Look how small it is.
Thank you.
Delilah wake up yet? No? Oh, maybe, no? Is this Marta?
Yes.
Hi, Marta. Tim O'Brien.
How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Look at me, Delilah. Mama.
Oh, she does have your nose.
I know. Yeah, she has my nose. Long and ugly. It's pretty.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you. You okay, Delilah? Pimpón es un muñeco muy guapo de cartón. Se lava tus manitas con agua y con jabón.
Measure them. Measure them.
Nothing. I should tell Eduardo. Hey, what I have a
Gladys's car is the Infinity, and this is the Intrepid that they drove up to Oregon.
See?
That's from 2004. And it's a questionnaire for domestic violence from Los Angeles County.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Kind of interesting that.
So that's a Saul.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not filled out, but it's in the car. So if her claim is she's been battered over the years, that's something we probably need to have.
I was thinking, kind of interesting, the first thing they do when they come into town is go there, and here we are at the end, right back over here. License plate. Clothing with stains, cell phone, keys, small white fat farm shoe, roll clear tape, miscellaneous paper.
There's a bag with some crystal substance in it.
Really?
But to me, it looks like a sugar donut. It's tough, but...
That sounds good right now.
Sugar donut?
Yeah.
You know, as cops, we love donuts.
Yeah.
You used to put something this big, small hole.
What?
Probably didn't need to say that. What?
Push. Look at that. A professional job if I ever saw one.
A lot better now.
So we saw Gladys. Did you know she was on 2C? Yeah, you knew.
I knew they moved her out of med, yeah.
Yeah, because she tried to kill herself. And she stopped eating. For 5 days, I think.
After the birth?
Yeah. They started her on some antidepressants, though.
Well, that's good. Now that the pregnancy's done, they
I
can
know,
try
and
to...
I asked her. I was really glad to hear that.
Lily had spoken with me today. She said Cologne called her up.
Oh, yeah?
That's what she said.
What did he say?
He said he wanted to talk about just being able to talk to the baby, have his mother see the baby, and him and Gladys are going to get married. And
He said he and Gladys were going to get married?
That's what he said. You know, I just told her, I said, ignore him. Don't, if he calls again, don't talk to him. So you got a lawyer? Do you talk to your lawyer?
Let me take care of him real quick.
Okay. Is 2C medical or is that the isolation, the suicide watch?
Is that where you're going?
She's in 2C. Thanks.
Hey, no problem. Have a good one.
Hi, Gladys. What'd you do now? Did you hurt yourself or what?
Yeah.
How'd you do? Cutting some more or what?
Yeah, and then I didn't eat for like 5 days. It's the harassment downstairs. Now I don't have the baby, so they have something new to talk about.
Inmates, you mean, or? Oh, the inmate or staff?
Inmates. The vents, the yelling across the tier. They put me on some antidepressants, but I don't know. I just sleep all day, that's all I do.
Are you getting married?
Oh, I heard about that. My mom gave it to me yesterday. I haven't even been able to get divorced.
What, you think it would just do something to protect him?
I don't know. It's not that I'm not trying to defend myself with this case. It's not that I'm trying to protect him. It's just, I said at the beginning, I don't want the death penalty for Mark. You guys, they can punish him, whatever, but not like that.
Well, that's, you know, that's going to be up to a jury. You know, in my opinion, the worst case scenario would be, well, then they just find you both guilty of first-degree murder. How about you and I? Were you gonna, what's our relationship like? Are we gonna be working together or what? Am I gonna be fighting you the whole way?
I don't know, Tim. My mom asked me to be honest with you, and that's what I'm doing.
Yeah? That's all I can ask for.
I don't know at this point. I don't know right now. The way I am, the way I'm feeling, the way I'm thinking.
I just hate to see you shoot yourself in the foot.
You know, realistically, that I want to do whatever I have to do to get home.
The only thing you got to do, Gladys, is tell the truth.
You know how hard it is to live with what happened. If you're not thinking about it, you're dreaming about it. It's always in there.
All right, Gladys.
Okay, Tim.
I'll talk to you next week, okay? All right, bye.
Am I the first mom that feels sorry for the person that killed my child?
There is only one just verdict, guilty, against Miss Perez.
If you're making goo-goo eyes at him or even giving him looks of encouragement, they're gonna fucking hate you.
You need to dig deep, and you need to figure out why you're here.
I don't like morning verdicts, Curtis.